thing you don't want recorded.
Okay.
No family secrets?
Yeah. All right. Wesley, are you gonna lead us tonight?
And someone, I'll do it next time. I just don't feel good. I'll just have
Okay.
to ask.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, Derek, go ahead.
All right, I'll read it. Number 1, other things constant if domestic consumers purchase fewer foreign goods at each level of GDP in the short run. A, GDP will rise. B, GDP will fall. C, foreign countries' GDP will rise. Or D, there will be no change in GDP in this country.
I got A.
I was thinking A.
A.
Yeah. I think A as well.
Okay.
All right, number 2. In the aggregate expenditures model of the economy, a downward shift in aggregate expenditures can be caused by A, decrease in government spending or an increase in taxes. B, decrease in taxes or an increase in government spending. C, decrease in interest rates or a decrease in taxes. Or D, decrease in saving or an increase in government spending.
Okay.
A.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I got A as well.
Yep. All right, question number 3. A tax cut will have a greater effect on equilibrium GDP if the A, marginal propensity to consume is smaller, marginal propensity to save is smaller, marginal propensity to save is larger, or D, average propensity to consume is larger.
I got B.
Mm.
Yeah.
I got D, but I'm not confident.
I got D because I thought the more that is being consumed, the more, and if or the more money you have, and the more you consume, the larger like the multiplier is.
Right.
Multiplier equation 1 divided by MPS.
Yeah, is it the average or is the MPS? I thought it was because it was MPS, not the average.
But there isn't one that says
Right.
consume
Oh.
larger. If you have a tax cut, you're going to consume more, right?
Right.
That's why I picked D. I don't know.
Isn't that the same as if the marginal propensity to save is smaller?
Exactly. The multiplier goes up according to the equation. The multiplier equals 1 over MPS. So if the
Could be
multiplier
C.
MPS is smaller, the multiplier will be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a tax cut, there's going to be more spending and more saving, correct?
Yeah. Both of
A
them.
tax cut?
Oh yeah.
If there's
Yeah,
a tax
there's a
cut,
tax cut, you'll have more money to spend, right?
you'll have more money to spend and more money to save. So it could be either C or D.
Um,
So maybe it's C if it's marginal.
But if the marginal propensity to save goes up, the multiplier goes down.
Yeah, that's why we said D, right? Because if that shrinks and there's a tax cut.
But if there's a tax cut, then the marginal propensity to save would go up because there's more money to save
Right.
Or to spend.
or to spend.
So we have to decide if it's a marginal or an average that we're going to look at, I think.
Well, isn't the only time APC comes into it is if you're dealing with whatever that other thing was? I have to go back a few pages of my notes.
Right. Oh, gosh.
I thought the only time you dealt with APC is when you were dealing with, where is it? Where is it? Because what we're trying to find out is the effect on the equilibrium GDP, not on income. I mean, it's what happens like the third chain. First it happens to your income, then it happens to the GDP. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the book.
Anybody Quizlet it?
There were no actual Quizlets for this week. I went through and searched among like 15 different. Usually one person will submit all the answers, but there wasn't one single submitter that had all of them in one, and so I went through and variously checked them. And number 3, this was one of the ones that you had to kind of filter through a bunch of different stuff, so it never explicitly answered it. I don't mind being the guinea pig this week if you want me to answer it one way, and then I'm thinking I'll answer B.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
I'm leaning more towards B now too, because if the marginal propensity to save is smaller, then the marginal propensity to consume is larger, and I think they rely on marginal propensity to determine those things more than the average propensity.
That's what I was thinking.
And isn't it true that if there is a tax cut, people will most likely spend it as opposed to save anyway?
Yeah.
This is all I could find in the book when I was looking earlier. It says, in contrast to our previous case, a decrease in existing taxes will raise the aggregate expenditure schedule as a result of an increase in consumption at all GDP levels. So the schedule is going to go up.
Right.
So I don't know.
So what you've got is your percentages. So you've got, maybe savings is at 10% and consumption's at 90, or savings is at 25 and consumption at 75. So they're saying if your savings is smaller, then your consumption will be bigger, and sorry, something popped up here. I don't know what that's doing. And so if your consumption's bigger, then that's going to change your GDP. So if the savings is smaller, that's going to change.
I think it's B as well. Just from that explanation, if it would be smaller, I think, in that case.
Because if that's true, then it negates the other ones. Because if savings is larger, then consumption is smaller. If consumption is smaller, then that's not going to change the GDP as much either. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking.
I really think it could be either one of those. Either one of those two are logical, but I think the way that the book reads questions and does things, I think B is probably the more correct of the two.
Okay.
That's my feelings.
Guess we'll find out.
I think it's my turn to be the guinea pig, so I'll fall, even though Marnay offered.
All right, so we're choosing B then, correct? B as in boy?
We'll choose B, and I'll tell you whether it's right or wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Number 4. Let's see here. 1 second. Number Number 4, refer to the above graph. If this economy was an open economy without a government sector, the level of GDP would be A, 100 billion, B, 200 billion, C, 300 billion, and D, 400 billion.
C.
I got C. Yeah.
All right, number 5. Leakages from the income expenditure stream are A, consumption, saving, and transfer payments, B, saving, taxes, and investment, C, saving, taxes, and imports, or D, imports, taxes, and transfer payments.
C.
I got C on this one.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah. Alrighty, question number 6. The most basic premise of the aggregate expenditures model is that A, the total output produced in the economy depends directly on the level of total spending. B, the level of employment in the economy depends inversely on the real wage rate. C, the total output produced depends mostly on the total capacity of firms to produce. Or D, the unemployment level in the economy is inversely related to the inflation rate.
A.
A.
A, yeah. Question number 7. One basic assumption of the aggregate expenditures model is that A, the economy is operating at full employment, B, there is inflation in the economy, C, there is no public sector in the economy, or D, the average price level in the economy is fixed.
I went with D on this one.
That's what I said too, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Alrighty, number 8. If the MPC in an economy is 0.75 and aggregate expenditures increase by 5 billion, then equilibrium GDP will increase by A, 3.75 billion, B, 6.7 billion, C, 8.75 billion, or D, 20 billion.
I got D on this one.
I
I
did too.
answered D too.
Alrighty.
And I felt like I was throwing arrows at a dartboard.
No worry.
I think I just worked out the multiplier
Yep.
and
Yeah.
multiplied it by the 5 billion and came up with the 20.
All
It's
right.
all with the multiplier.
Okay. Question number 9. The investment schedule shows the A, inverse relationship between the expected rate of return and the quantity of investment demanded, B, positive relationship between the expected rate of return and the quantity of investment demanded, C, amounts business firms collectively intend to invest at each possible level of GDP, or D, rate of interest that business firms must pay when they make investments in capital goods.
C.
C is what I got.
That puts
Alrighty, number 10. The difference between the investment demand curve and the investment schedule is that the former shows A, direct relationship between investment and interest rate, while the latter shows no correlation between investment and income, B, an inverse relationship between investment and interest rate, while the latter shows no correlation between investment and income, C, a direct relationship between investment and income, while the latter shows no correlation between investment and interest rate, or D, an inverse relationship between investment and income, while the latter shows no correlation between investment and interest rate.
B.
Hey, Derek, could you reread that one in English, please?
I apologize. I can do it in Spanish if you want.
McMillan.
I
That
got
was a mouthful to say. You want me to do it again?
No.
No.
That one, I probably spent probably just as much time on this one as I did the whole rest of the assignment last night.
Oh, really? I
Did it-
came up with B.
Me too.
That's
Yeah.
what I ended up with, yeah.
Okay. Wesley, did you get that too?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
This is one where I feel sorry for people taking it where English is their second language.
Nope.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, especially, yeah. Number 11. If the expected rate of return on investment decreases, then most likely the A, investment schedule will shift upward. B, investment schedule will shift downward. C, consumption schedule will shift upward. Or D, consumption schedule will shift downward.
B.
How about B?
I got B on that one.
Okay, this one I didn't have a clue. Sorry. We're going with B.
Are we all comfortable with B?
B makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, since it's a decrease, I can imagine it. It would go downward. So,
Okay.
but that's just my opinion. Alrighty, number 12. In a private closed economy, the equilibrium condition for the economy is
You just
A.
pick which one you got if you want, rather than reading them, because I'm making it easier. If you want to. Or you can read them if you want. Might be easier if you just do the answer.
Okay. Which one did you guys get for that one?
A.
I got A.
Okay. I agree on that one. Number 13. When aggregate expenditure is greater than GDP, then there will be an A, unplanned increase in inventories and GDP will increase. B, unplanned decrease in inventories and GDP will increase. C, unplanned increase in inventories and GDP will decrease. Or D, unplanned decrease in inventories and GDP will decrease.
I got B.
I got B.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. All right, number 14. The amount by which an aggregate expenditure schedule must shift upward to achieve the full employment GDP is A or N. A, inflationary expenditure cap. B, recessionary expenditure gap. C, expenditure multiplier gap. Or D, a negative net export gap.
Okay.
I got B.
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 All right. Number 15. The amount by which aggregate expenditures exceed those associated with the full-time or the full employment level of domestic output can best be described as A, a recessionary expenditure gap, B, an inflationary expenditure gap, C, the multiplier, or D, the average propensity to save.
B.
I got B as well.
Yeah, B. That's the opposite of the one before it.
Yeah.
All right. 16. The $787 billion stimulus package enacted by the federal government in 2009 to try to deal with the Great Recession was intended to A, shift the aggregate expenditure schedule down, B, close an inflationary expenditure gap, C, bring inflation down, D, push the aggregate expenditure schedule upward, or E, make all the Republicans mad. I think it's E.
Yeah.
Now we're on that subject. Did anybody else feel like this chapter was the first chapter that we've ever dealt with that kind of actually favored Democrats and liberal views?
Keynesian form of economics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like when it talks about, because I've read stuff about the environment and stuff like that. You know how you'll have unintended consequences for your business, and so that sounds a little more on the liberal side. But for the most part, it seems like, I don't know. Sometimes it goes back and forth, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I watched those videos. I don't know who put them on, but they were in the prep stuff.
Yeah.
The ones where like they're in a boxing ring, and then whatever the other one was. I don't know if you guys saw those.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Anyway, Keynes versus whoever the other guy is, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling much in the minority here because I don't agree with half the stuff that Keynes is.
Yeah.
Well, I agreed with his main point, where a lot of times when government gives a lot of money back to the people, they usually give it to the people who started it in the first place, and then it creates this process of them making a mistake and then the government giving the money who made the mistake, versus doing tax cuts, which is basically what Hyatt said. And then when you get tax cuts, you're helping everyone out versus just giving it to the people who created the problem. So, which I agree with. So there's either two ways of stimulating, either tax cut or get the government taking money from people and redistributing it through stimulus.
So let's see here. Do you want me to read them again, or do we get it?
I got D.
I got D.
Yeah,
I did too.
I got D as well.
All right.
All right, number 17. When the economy is at its equilibrium GDP level, all of the following will occur except A, aggregate expenditures equals GDP, B, inventories will be zero, C, saving equals planned investment, or D, there are no unplanned changes in inventories.
B.
Did you say B as in boy or D as in David?
I think it's B as in boy.
Okay, that's what I answered.
Yeah, I don't think it would ever be zero. So. All right, number 18. If GDP exceeds aggregate expenditures in a private closed economy, A, saving will exceed planned investment, B, planned investment will exceed saving, C, planned investment will exceed actual investment, D, injections will exceed leakages.
A?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got A, but I can't remember how.
I thought it was C. I'm just trying to be a rebel tonight. If GDP exceeds aggregate expenditures in a private closed economy, planned investment will exceed actual investment. I don't know. What do you guys think? B? Is that what you said?
A.
A.
A?
We all think it's A.
A. Okay.
Guess we'll find out.
Alrighty, number 19. Classical economists held the view that in the economy, A, demand creates its own supply, B, unemployment is temporary and is soon eliminated, C, there is an imbalance between saving and investment, or D, it is difficult for an economy to adjust because wages and prices are inflexible.
I said B.
I did too.
I said B.
For the most part, yeah, I say it's pretty soon eliminated. All right, last question. The major economic issue during the Great Depression of the 1930s that concerned John Maynard Keynes was A, rising interest rates, B, large trade deficits, C, unemployment, or D, hyperinflation.
C.
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 All right, C. Alrighty. So who is falling on the sword at this time?
I got it.
Okay.
%.
Really?
All right.
Okay.
Yay.
Yep, did good.
Okay.
Very
Cool.
good. Awesome.
So Wesley, did you find any helpful videos for calculating this week?
Yeah. I watched a lot of them. I barely even read the textbook. I just watched the videos mainly.
Oh, really? Okay.
He just goes over absolutely everything.
Hmm.
Just search on YouTube for economics or what?
I'll show you the videos. I'll just. There you go.
Cool. You're awesome.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, he goes over everything. It's really nice.
How long is it?
He just goes over every single little subject, and each video is like maximum 5 minutes long. Most of them are like minute 30, and then he just goes over all the key points. I actually like it because I learn with videos a lot better than just a textbook. So.
Yeah. My previous professor did a video every single week, and I thought, okay, I actually feel like I'm not just guessing anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I really have a good, solid understanding.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Oh, this video too. It was the one that you were talking about. You guys should watch it. It's pretty good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. The fight of the century. It explains the two different points of view.
Oh, yeah, it was funny. It at least was a little humorous, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you start feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week's been hard with the flu.
Oh, you had the flu as well? I just got over it myself.
Oh, really?
I went to urgent care. I had a 101-degree temperature.
Oh, yeah. Well, luckily, I didn't have that.
But I knocked it down pretty quickly. But yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah.
Been
Yeah,
very
oh my God, I'm mostly by tomorrow. Have any of you started on the homework yet?
I did.
No,
Yeah. One of the questions I couldn't figure out, like 21, I couldn't find the equilibrium GDP.
Hmm.
I'm going to see if I can get in there and look at it. If this will hurry up. Okay, back to assignments. Okay, so which one?
Question 21, A, equilibrium GDP.
Oh. Yeah, those are all. Let me see if it's one I answered and actually.
Ugh.
Oh, yep, that one I did and got right. Okay. A is 360 billion.
How did you get that?
That's what I'm looking at right now. Okay, so if you add 340 to 20, which is employment line 70, where the employment line 70 is,
Mm-hmm.
so it's 340, and then 20 is on the savings in billions. That'll give you the 360.
Wait, where did you get the 340?
Well, the 340 is in consumption in billions. And so I'm trying to figure out of why. Okay, this is what I did. Originally, when I put on the right-hand side, while you fill in all the gray boxes,
Mm-hmm.
originally I put 20 in all of them because I didn't understand how to do it. I didn't realize they were looking for savings. I thought they were talking about investment because I kept thinking, oh, well, they're equal.
Yeah.
So I just put 20 in all of it. and that one, the 70 for employment, 360 for domestic output, that was the only one that was right. And so I kept the 20 there, and then I figured out, oh, you have to go with a formula. So then I went and figured out the rest of them.
I wonder if our homework is different because it says that 360 billion is wrong, and then for possible levels of employment by million, 70, I got 19 there. Is your real domestic output 370 and 351?
No.
Perception? Yeah, so it must be
Well,
different.
that's not helpful. Yeah, so what I did was I just put, so what it'll be is you'll take whatever's in the consumption, you'll subtract it from whatever's in the domestic output, and that'll give you what's in the right-hand side.
Yep,
Right.
19, yeah.
And then whichever ones, and how did I figure out what the equilibrium was?
Is it equilibrium, consumption, and real domestic output the same? Like if that would be zero savings?
Yeah, where savings and investment are the same. So whatever's in the right-hand side that matches savings up in the top of the question.
Oh, I should have read. I didn't even read the top of the question. I guess it's 319. That was stupid of me.
Does that help?
It's not stupid of you because, of course, it took me like 16. Well, I had to redo the entire problem before I could get it right.
Oh, but it says savings. That didn't work. No. Assuming the investment in the pension.
Equilibrium GDP. Oh, I see.
Well, I got savings, 11 billion, and then investment on top of the question says 11 billion. So I don't know why this is.
And the one where it says 11 doesn't match. So what you have to do is go from the one where it says 11 billion in savings and go over to where it says real domestic output in billions. And that's the one where your answer for the equilibrium GDP will come from.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, worked.
Yep, 330 billion.
Woohoo!
And then you just go over one more for the level of employment. Yep. Oh, perfect. Thank you. That would have took me forever to figure out.
You're welcome.
Do any of the other guys have any questions?
I have questions on everything you have to calculate, but I'm not going to go over it.
My other teacher, he would actually have a class and he would just go over all the homework with us. That helped so much.
Yeah. Well, when I was taking accounting, the textbook itself had samples, not with the same numbers, but they showed you how to do every problem. They had a video of somebody from the textbook company showing how to do an example of every problem, and that was really helpful because even though your numbers were the same, you could just take it step by step. Different textbook publisher though.
I was just busted that. All right, I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
See you guys.
All right.
Okay.
Good meeting, everybody.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Next week.
Thank you.